This episode of Escape to the Quarter Bin is sponsored by Infinite Realities Comics and Games, located in the heart of downtown Tucker, Georgia, with over 2,700 square feet of new comics, back issues, paperbacks and hardcovers, gaming, action figures, and of course, the quarter bins. You can even call ahead for curbside service. That's Infinite Realities, comics, games, and more. Hey everybody, welcome back to Escape to the Quarter Bin. As always, I'm your host, ADRIAN Johnson. And on this particular episode, I got a little thing that I found over the weekend, and I thought it would be interesting to feature it here on the show. And that is this. I was out with my kids over the weekend, and we stopped by this local super discount retailer named Ollie's here in town. And I came across, they had a comic book section, actually. Now, I'd heard about Ollie's having a comic book section before, and that they offered very deep discounts, but it's one of those things to where they have several copies of the same thing and they're at a deep discount, and they just want people to come in and just, scoop them up, if people are interested, at all in comic books. But, they had these comic book packs. Now, I don't know if some of you may actually be old enough to remember, starting back in the, probably in the 70s, actually. I came to them in the 90s, as far as these 3-packs. They used to come in packs of 3 random comic books that would come, plastic wrapped like this. And the thing was that, it was like $2 for a pack. It might have been cheaper in the years prior to that. But, within the pack, you would always definitely and obviously see what you would get on the front and the backs. But the mystery was always what was in the middle. You have to try to squeeze it and, maneuver it in such a way that you try to see what the middle book was, because, it obviously was just so random, and you were hoping that you got something good. And, I bought many of those packs. Like I cleaned out, the department store nearly, when I was like 13 or 14, buying those, 2-packs. And that's how I got a lot of my early back issues. When I first started in the hobby for serious, seriously, when I was 13, so seeing this at Ollie's over the weekend, really brought back some memories. And I was like, hey, let me give this a shot. Let me feature it on the show here, and I'll open it live along with you guys, and we can see what we got together as well. So let's get into it. But before I do that, I definitely want to thank you guys for all the support. We're over 300 subscribers now, and I absolutely appreciate it. I'm currently in the midst of, getting some new content together, some very interesting stuff that I think you guys, hopefully you guys will enjoy, so definitely stay tuned for that. And also, as always, I have a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Inazuma Studios. And for just $1 a month, you can support the channel here and keep this content going. Every dollar helps, and I appreciate you guys subscribing. So definitely keep liking, sharing, and subscribing here to the channel. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is that I actually bought two of those packs of comics. And I opened one of them because I was just like, let me just see. I couldn't wait, And so what happened was I ended up opening it, and this is what was on the front and the back. I believe this was in the front, and this was in the back. In the middle, like the guts of it, just nah, just a bunch of just. Even for me, and I'm pretty forgiving as far as back issues and everything, but it was just pure tripe. I mean, nothing of note to keep in there. And these were the only 2 pieces, that were worth keeping. This Man of Steel annual from, I believe, 1994. And I kept this because this one was done by, it was written by Christopher Priest and drawn by one of my favorites, M.D. Bright. you know? And I'd seen this before, but I've never read it. So I was like, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. And then this here, obviously, this is a DK3, The Master Race. This is a book 4. And I was kind of surprised that this would be in a discount, in a discount bag like that, But obviously it's written by Frank Miller and Brian Azzarello, art by Andy Kubert and Klaus Janson, which is an interesting combination, And it was intact as well. Like it had the mini comic that I think every issue of DK3, The Master Race, had contained in it, So the mini comic by Miller and Janson was still, contained inside, still tipped in, perfectly and everything. So I was like, okay, because I'll be honest with you. I had no interest in ever reading DK3, any part of it, because I still felt it was unnecessary. But in this case, because it was already in the pack, it's like, what the hey, why not? So, I got those out of the other pack. So now let's get to this one that's unopened. All right. And so what we have here, let's see, how much was this? Ollie's had this for, looks like $6.99. I know that sticker's a little faded out, but the price on it is $6.99 for 10 comics in a bag, sealed in a bag. And on the outside here, we can see that we have Kazar the Savage, number 32. This looks like, here, it looks like it may have, the cover at least, looks like it may have been drawn by, I'm guessing, Paul Neary, PN, and Joseph Rubinstein is the anchor. It's definitely Rubinstein as the anchor. We'll find out who PN is, I'm sure, once we open this up. But I'm pretty sure that it may be Paul Neary. And on the back here, we have an issue of New Titans. Not New Teen Titans, the New Titans. And this is issue number 54. Let's see. And obviously by the classic team of Marv Wolfman and George Perez with inks by Bob McLeod. All right. So now that we know what the front and the back is, let's get into the guts of it. So here we go. We're going to crack this open here. All right. Okay, slide that on out. Let's see what we got. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm going to flip this back one here, so then that way we can just, proceed through it like this. Okay, let's see. All right, so we already know that we got Kazar the Savage, number 32. So what's the next one? All right, we got Shadow Man, number 4. With a Frank Miller cover. All right, what the guts look like? Written by Jim Shooter. Art by David Lapham. Okay, all right. Interesting. I was never a big fan of like the Valiant books, except for Ninjak, because Joe Quesada was drawing it, one of his earlier efforts. And I was kind of a fan of Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, and that was because Rags Morales was drawing it, I really dug that stuff. But, this actually looks pretty interesting because, I like David Lapham from his later work with Stray Bullets, his creator-owned thing. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting right there. It's a piece by Barry Windsor Smith and Bob Layton. Okay. Harbinger. All right. Or Harbinger. Okay. All right. And, the thing is about these Frank Miller covers for these issues of Valiant is that they were, for this crossover Unity, okay, I was about to say 2 in a row. These Frank Miller covers were interlocking, so there were 9 covers total, and they all made like a big piece. And if I'm not mistaken, this yellow part back here, this actually formed like this yellow hand that connected over through all the covers. So, that's cool. I mean, this right here, it's not really a keeper, but, I might just, clip the cover at least for like my, my tear sheets, Frank Miller tear sheets. But let's back up for a second and let's check out this Khazar. Let's see who drew this. I was right. Okay, so Paul Neary did draw this issue, but the interior inks are by Carlos Garzon. But I'm totally sure that this cover was inked by Joseph Rubinstein. Absolutely 100% sure. So there's that. Let's just take a quick flip through here. You know. Now, with Khazar, I like Khazar. Some of my earliest, one of my earliest back issues was a Khazar. And I believe it was drawn by Brent Anderson and inked by Armando Gill. And, you know, that it was fun for what it was. I remember really enjoying it, you know, when I was younger, you know. And it was cool because at the time they were playing, you know, Khazar and Shana, the she-devil, his wife. It's kind of like this, almost like a Nick and Nora Charles, if you know who they are from the Thin Man movie series, the classic Thin Man series. You know, just kind of like, you know, having adventures as a husband and wife, you know, so it was a pretty neat dynamic. Okay, so we have another issue of Shadow Man, and it looks like this time this cover is actually drawn by, Walt Simonson. Walt Simonson. You can easily tell by the crags here, the angularity, you know, of the inking. Oh yeah. But I'm looking for his signature on here. I don't see a signature from Simonson, but it's absolutely his work, you know. And then I wonder if this is another thing where it was an interlocking cover as well, you know. So maybe at the time, you know, to help promote, you know, this series, you know, Valiant was trying to, you know, do the interlocking covers to get people to buy all of the books. Who the interiors by? Once again, David Lapham and Jim Shooter. As far as writing, well, Bob Layton wrote with Jim Shooter, but the art and the story included David Lapham as well. So okay, I may have to check those out. I've never read any of the Unity crossover. I'm just familiar with the covers, you know, from seeing them elsewhere. But if it's David Lapham, I may have to give those a try. What's this? The Strangers, number 19. Oh no. And who did this? Oh no, you're gonna make me flip through the book? Oh no. Oh, do I have to? Oh, oh no. Way in the back. Okay. So written by Steve Englehart, who I know from like these classic Captain America stories, you know, from the 70s and amongst other things. And penciled by Steve Ellis. I've never heard of Steve Ellis. And inked by Tim Eldred. Tim Eldred I have heard of as far as inks. Okay. Yeah, but this looks totally missable. Okay. What else we got? All right. X Factor by Peter David, I think Pablo Raimondi, and Jeremy Cox, maybe? Let's see. There we go. All right. Written by Peter David, Pablo Raimondi, and Jeremy Cox. See, this looks decent. Right, his stuff is pretty good. Raimondi's. Yeah, but just no interest in the story for me. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So there's that. Oh man, it's not looking good, is it? As far as, you know, kind of striking out here. This is X Factor, number 111. Cover appears to be by Tom Grummett and Al Milgrom. I don't remember Tom Grummett having worked on X Factor. I know he maybe did some stuff for Marvel, you know, but I don't remember this. Okay. So it's like Grummett just did the cover, but the actual interior pencils are by Jan Dersema and inks by Al Milgrom. Okay. Let's see. When did this come out? 1995. Okay. Wow. Yeah. I could have dated it 1985 just with this Street Fighter advertisement. All right. See, this is just there. It's not going to blow you away. Just 90s fare. Oh, man. So I wish some of these had been included in there. Some of these, when the Xbooks changed over for, I believe, 4 months, they had the Age of Apocalypse storyline. Now, some of those were fun. Like, I remember really enjoying Weapon X a whole lot. I think I tried Gambit and the Externals as well. And I tried to get into Amazing X-Men and the Astonishing X-Men. Yes, Astonishing X-Men, you know. So this actually predates Joss Whedon and John Cassidy's, you know, miniseries. Not miniseries, but long-running series that they started, I think, back in 2003 or 4 or somewhere in there. And prior to that, there was also an Astonishing X-Men that Brandon Peterson did, if I'm not mistaken, as well, back in the late 90s. That was after this one here, after the one that was featured in Age of Apocalypse. Okay, but yeah. Another Malibu book. We got The Strangers, number 4. Decent cover, though, by Rick Hoberg. And Rick Hoberg is actually was a long time veteran of the comic book game. His name was definitely familiar. See, this stuff is good. Who inked this? Tim Burgard. And written by Steve Englehart. Okay. This stuff is not bad. See, I kind of respond, you know, to this stuff, not necessarily because of, like, the lininess of it, you know, or the perceived detail, but it's just like classic comic book art, classic American comic book art. You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff from like the 70s and 80s. Like, part of me responds to that style a bit, you know, because it just screams just typical comic book, you know. Okay, but really nothing to write home about there. Okay, here we go. Let's see. We got 2 in a row here. All right, we got 2 issues of Namor, the Submariner, and these are obviously both done by, well, we'll see, but the covers at least are both done by John Byrne. Yeah, I remember when he took over on Namor. Now, I wasn't reading comics then, but I remember as I was getting more familiar with his work, you know, that he had a long run on Namor the Submariner. Oh yeah. This is totally John Byrne. Absolutely. Oh yeah, here we go. See? Written and drawn by John Byrne. Oh yeah. Okay, these might actually be some keepers here. All right. Oh man, these X-Men toys. Oh, and it's a glossy insert too. So I wonder if the insert has. Oh wow, Bo Jackson. Man, that's. Oh wow. Okay. See now, I might be able to get with this. You know, this Namor looks really cool. All right, perfect. Not bad. Eric Larson advert. You see right there. Okay, that's not a total bust. All right. Well, I might be able to do something with that Namor. All right. And then obviously if it's still Byrne. Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, I think we'll give these a try. So, it looks like so far out of those 10, you know, I at least got 2, you know, that seem to be, you know, a couple of keepers, you know, for now. Oh, look at this. Wham. I remember hearing about Wham, in interviews with Will Spertasio, the Wild Agents of Marvel. That's wild. No pun intended. See that's stuff that you can't do today. Really. I mean, you could, but it would almost be counterproductive just because everything is, online and social media related. But I kind of miss the aspect of fandom to where you would have to mail off something, or you would have to physically go somewhere or correspond to be, to be involved. There's something to that. There's a magic or something to that, that I think is missing with just the online interaction. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we interact faster than ever before, but there's something to getting something physical or doing something in that realm. All right, so I think I'm going to keep these, definitely. These other ones, and all right, so let's check out this last one. We got New Titans number 54. Who is Wonder Girl? And this looks like it's the concluding part, part 5 of 5. And obviously, like I mentioned before, by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. See what these interiors looking like. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Romeo Tangal. All right. So we got the classic New Teen Titans team, on here. Wolfman, Perez, and inks by Tangal. All right. All right. This is not bad. All right. See, I can get with this one too. Okay. See, stuff like, when you come across just like classic creators that you're going to at least get something that's entertaining, Gilgamesh 4, I think that's Starling. Yeah. The Shadow. O'Neill. Oh yeah. I have all of those. I have all those in back issues actually. I've been considering doing an episode about those because I really love that run. Yeah, that's cool stuff. Okay, all right. Man, I miss letters columns. Again, same thing, with what I was talking about before with the online interaction, basically just, posting on Instagram or what have you, replace these. But man, reading these letter columns, are interesting. And a fact of the matter is that, sometimes, these letters, some of them are real. And I think I read, somewhere that, at least perhaps even way back in the day, that sometimes they would actually write some of the letters in-house, just to fill out the columns. But nonetheless, when the letters are genuine, and you can tell when you read them, it made letter columns so much fun. You know what I'm saying? So thanks, guys, once again for checking out this episode of Escape to the Quarter Bins. As always, I'm your host, Adrian Johnson. And definitely, as always, like, share, and subscribe here on the channel. I appreciate you, and we'll talk soon.